The United States and India have finalized a framework for an interim trade agreement, a move that is being hailed as a historic milestone in the partnership between the world's two largest democracies. Under the key terms of this agreement, the United States is implementing a significant tariff rollback, cutting rates on Indian goods from 50% to a reciprocal rate of 18%. This release specifically targets India's export-heavy sectors, including textiles, apparel, leather, footwear, organic chemicals, and artisanal products. Furthermore, depending on the final deal, the US will remove tariffs on generic pharmaceuticals, gems, and diamonds. In exchange, India will eliminate or reduce tariffs on all US industrial goods and a range of agricultural products, including tree nuts, fruits, and soybean oil. This framework builds on the bilateral trade agreement negotiations launched by President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi in February 2025, aiming to create more resilient supply chains and balanced trade. India will also receive preferential access for auto parts under US national security tariff rules, while both sides commit to addressing long-standing non-tariff barriers in areas like medical devices, ICT goods, standards, and agricultural trade. Beyond tariffs, the deal signals a deeper strategic alignment. India has announced plans to purchase $500 billion worth of US energy, aircraft, tech products, GPUs, coal, and precious metals over the next 5 years. The two countries have also committed to strengthening supply chains, digital trade rules, technology cooperation, and economic security coordination. Both governments describe the agreement as a milestone, one that opens markets, boosts exports, strengthens supply chains resilience, and advances long-term strategic partnership. Union Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has hailed this as a gateway to a $30 trillion market, noting that while India is opening the doors to US technology and energy, it has successfully protected sensitive domestic sectors like dairy, rice, and wheat to safeguard the interests of Indian farmers.
दोनों पक्ष अपनी अपनी अर्थव्यवस्थाओं के महत्वपूर्ण और संवेदनशील क्षेत्रों की रक्षा करते हुए सर्वोत्तम संभव परिणाम सुनिश्चित करना चाहेंगे। इन वार्ताओं के दौरान भारतीय पक्ष अपने संवेदनशील क्षेत्रों, विशेषकर कृषि और दुग्ध क्षेत्रों के हितों की रक्षा सुनिश्चित करने में सफल रहा है। अमेरिकी पक्ष के भी कुछ ऐसे क्षेत्र थे जो उनके दृष्टिकोण से संवेदनशील थे। लगभग 1 वर्ष तक चले कई दौर के विचार विमर्श के बाद दोनों वार्ताकार कल द्विपक्षीय व्यापार समझौते के कई क्षेत्रों को अंतिम रूप देने में सफल रहे।
However, the deal comes with an accompanying trade framework of an executive order signed by President Trump on February 6, 2026. This order officially removes an additional 25% ad valorem duty that had been imposed on India for its imports of Russian oil. In the order, President Trump explicitly claims that India has committed to stop directly or indirectly importing Russian Federation oil, moving instead towards US and potentially Venezuelan energy products. Trump's order also includes a strict monitoring clause. If India is found to have resumed these imports, the US Secretary of State and Commerce can recommend the immediate reimposition of those punitive 25% tariffs. Despite these claims from the White House, India is maintaining a stance of strategic autonomy. The Ministry of External Affairs has reiterated that ensuring the energy security of 1.4 billion Indians is the government's supreme priority. MEA spokesperson Ranveer Jaiswal stated that India's energy decisions are guided by national interests and market conditions, noting that India remains open to buying oil from any source, including Venezuela, based on commercial viability.
We are aware of the proposed bill, the bill that she referred to. We are closely following the developments around the bill. Our position on the larger question of energy sourcing is well known to you, and I have spoken about it on several occasions in the past as well. In this endeavor, we are guided by the evolving dynamics in the global market, as also the imperative to secure affordable energy for our 1.4 billion people through diverse sources to meet their energy security needs.
While latest reports indicate that India's Russian oil imports have declined, it remains to be seen whether a sudden halt is operationally or economically feasible. Russian oil still accounted for 22% of India's imports as recently as January, and refiners like Nayara Energy remain heavily dependent on Russian supply due to existing international sanctions. While India has pledged to purchase $500 billion in US energy and technology over the next 5 years, the transition away from Russian crude appears to be a gradual, complex process rather than the immediate stop described in Washington.